Hi there, this is Angela from North Carolina. After spending a rainy day indoors with the wind blowing and cold weather, I was walking down the hallway and caught this picture in my eye, and with the fact that we're having our first grandchild soon, it made me think back to when we were about to give birth to our first child, which was my daughter, and we were having a problem pregnancy because I had lost so many babies. I'd had 12 miscarriages, and we were driving to Charlotte, North Carolina, from where we live to Lamaze classes. And we met a really lovely couple. Their baby was due the same time as ours, and they knew that my doctor wanted me to be closer to town, and they had a precious little bungalow that they were fixing to put on the market to rent, and they offered it to us to rent, so I would be 10 minutes from the hospital instead of an hour and 20 minutes. So over the time that we're in Lamaze, and then when the babies were born, we stayed, of course, for a while. We weren't going to move with a brand new baby, and they would come over and we would go to their house, and we became fast friends. And one night, David, our friend that owned the house, came walking down the hall after he'd been to the bathroom holding this picture. And he said, "Why did y'all take my great-grandfather's picture down out of the attic, and why did you frame it?" And I said, "Excuse me, but I had this picture framed for my husband as a gift because this is his great-grandfather right here, the little man with the tummy." And our friend David said, "Oh, no, no, no. This is my great-grandfather right here, the little short man. Looked just like our friend David." And they still didn't believe it was our picture. So he pulled down the attic steps. He went up into the attic. There was his photograph in a box of his great-grandfather. This is from a little teeny tiny town in South Georgia that was called SILOAM, Georgia, if you can tell by that. Such a small town that they couldn't even go to school there. This was the entire baseball team. They didn't even have an extra if somebody got sick. So now we come downstairs and we've got both pictures side by side, and this one specifically says Corey right here. And right here is our great-grandfather, W. Reynolds. And so we just couldn't believe it. We didn't know these people 2 months before, and now suddenly we have a connection in a vintage photograph. So my husband called his uncle, who lived in Crawfordville, Georgia, which was a larger town than Siloam. They raised their children in Siloam, but you worked and went to school and did your groceries and everything in the town of Crawfordville. So they made an appointment to drive down and visit John's uncle at his bank, and they brought both the pictures, and Uncle Booster was so excited. He confirmed that, yes, indeed, these were the grandfathers, and he had heard funny stories from his grandfather because Mr. Corey was still alive then when they were younger, and in our uncle's youth, he had heard just really comical things about the baseball team and about Mr. Corey and about my husband's grandfather. And so he was just delighted to be able to reminisce about some funny things, and he told our friend some interesting things he didn't know about his great-grandfather. His father had already died, and there was no one in their family to tell him anything about his great-grandfather's childhood or anything. I don't know why my dogs think they have to bark every time I make a YouTube video. I'm so sorry. Excuse me. Quiet, please. Betty Sue? So anyway, To make a short story long, or a long story short, whichever you prefer, we became fast friends, and we would show this picture to friends that would come over when he was around, and everybody would get a real kick out of it. But it just really brings home the fact about the 6 degrees of separation, how if you go around and around enough, that you're going to find out that somehow we're all connected. And this definitely was true in this case. If we had not been in their Lamaze class, if I had not had a problem pregnancy, we would never have met them, and we would never have seen this picture, and we would never have known of the connection, between our new friends and the fact that our great-grandfathers had been fast friends. But I just thought this was kind of a sweet story. And like I said, I was thinking about it today because I was thinking about my son. He had came up here to go hunting with my husband on Wednesday, and they're still gone. But I just thought y'all might get a kick out of it. It's not every day that someone accuses you of going into their attic and framing their great-grandfather's picture. But anyway, have a happy Saturday night, and I hope you have a wonderful Sunday. And good week next week as well. Bye-bye.